Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with another episode of 10-minute trade videos, and this one has probably been a long time coming. This is Moderna, ticker symbol MRNA, and I'm sure you have heard of this stock in the news because it seems like every week there's tweets coming out, there's news coming out about vaccines on the illness and then trials getting halted, and seems like this is one big meme stock or hype stock in my opinion right now. If we zoom out here, look at the chart here. This is the daily chart. So each ticker, or each candle I should say, represents 1 day of trading. You can see we've had this huge run up since basically the illness started earlier this year. If I zoom back in here, you can see it's still pretty choppy, right? And I think a lot of this is going to be due to essentially news catalysts, right? So certain individuals, if they tweet out this ticker or they talk about it in a conference, it can set the stock skyrocketing, to be honest with you. Or if bad news comes out, if there's something wrong with a clinical trial, then it can send the stock plummeting. So I'm going to do technical analysis on this, but I mean, compared to my other TAs, I would probably say this is the one I would take with the biggest grain of salt, because no matter how good anybody's technical analysis is, like I said, one tweet could just change the share price of this stock drastically. But let's get right into it. So the first thing I like to do is look at the Fibonacci retracement levels. And so I decided to choose basically the most recent lows from here on September 8th at around $54 and some change to the most recent highs back on October 13th, not too long ago, intraday a little over $81. And that leaves you with something like this. So if we just zoom in here temporarily, we can see that actually most recently, this 23.6% Fibonacci level at about $75 or just shy of it has been acting as a little bit of a resistance initially, and it looks like it's acting as support yesterday and today so far as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, and so much so that I thought that that was a trend line here, because you can see if we go scroll back all the way up until July 14th, even here on August 7th and 8th, it was acting as resistance and then acting as support back here on July 23rd. If I zoom out here, you can see there's not a lot of other price data in that price range. But I identified a lot of trend lines in terms of support and resistance here. So I'm going to do these very quickly, and then we can talk a lot about them, because if I go through them one by one, this video is going to be 30 minutes long. So let's just go ahead and turn on all of these trend lines that I've identified. And like I said, I think a part of the reason there's so many is because this stock has moved so wildly over the past few weeks and months that it's hard to identify any strong area of support or resistance. You can see right now, we're currently trading at a little under $75. And that's where, again, the 23.6% Fibonacci level is, and also what I believe to be the current area of support. But it seems like every dollar or two as we go down, there are what I perceive to be additional areas of support. I mean, right here at about, let's just say less than 74, around 73, around 71, around 70, 67, 65, 63, 60, 57, 53. I mean, all the way down, you can see there's a lot of price action here. And if I just kind of scroll out, you can see it's not just the most recent price data. Some of this holds up based on the candles from early August. And if I scroll back even further for these lower prices, you can see there's some price data that holds up all the way back to May of this year. So we're talking a few months of data where the stock has kind of rallied up hard, dropped hard, kind of traded flat for a while, rallied again, dropped again, where it looks like now in a upward trend. So that's really what I want to talk about right now, is the trend overall. And also, just to give you another example of how kind of wild this stock is, this orange line here represents the 21-day moving average, and the pink line represents the 50-day moving average. Look at it crisscross recently. So crisscrossed right around here on August 27th. It's crossing again here on October 8th. If I scroll back, you can see it's kind of very tightly wound up until this huge run up. And, this crossover most recently back on October 8th, where the 21-day moving average crossed over the 50-day, tells me that in the short term, this stock is looking a little bullish right now. And I think the recent trend supports that. If I draw a trend line, something like this, towards the bottoms of as many of these candles as I can, you can see we are in an upward trend ever since we bottomed out on about September 8th. And right now we are in a little bit of a pullback. You can see up until basically 2 days ago, we've always been trading on the high side of this trend line. But yesterday we basically closed right on the trend line. Today we're currently having a red day, and it's going to be interesting to see if we close above $75 to see if this area of trend holds as support, or if now are we going to potentially have a pullback down to the low 70s. Now, the other thing is I can make this a parallel channel as well and draw something like this, where I basically mimic that trend line, and then I can draw kind of a top trend line to incorporate the most of the candles here. And you can see for a few trading days here in mid-September, we traded outside of this parallel channel, and then we kind of sold off to get back into it. Right now, again, we are kind of in between, like halfway in the channel, halfway out of the channel. So depending on how we close today and where we end up on Monday, it's going to determine whether I think we're going to continue in this upward trend, or are we going to now break the trend and possibly have a little bit of a pullback. In all honesty, I do think we are still in a short-term bullish trend, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have a pullback because we are trading pretty far away from the moving averages, and also looks like we are in for a pretty red day today. But again, just to reiterate, that doesn't mean anything to me, because after hours or over the weekend, a certain someone could easily hold a press conference or easily send out a tweet saying how great this company is or how great their vaccine is, or all they have to do is just stir up rumors and say, hey, the vaccine is going to come out next Wednesday, and this stock would just go to the moon just based off words on your computer screen. So, don't put a lot of stock in this technical analysis, in my opinion. Personally, I have never traded Moderna, either with shares or options, and I don't intend to, because like I said, it's just too volatile for me. I feel like with my luck, the moment I buy shares or maybe buy options, a tweet is going to come out that sends the stock plummeting, or vice versa. So let's take a look at the option flow data on Moderna for today. So today is October 16th. We can see at the bottom here, there's only 2 flows that have come through so far. They are both for November 16th expirations at the $105 strike price, but they're both green boxes, which means that they are both calls. So that's interesting. So that goes along with our technical analysis that it seems that the big money, the smart money, the institutional money, they are also short-term bullish on Moderna. So that is nice to know. We'll have to see. The trading day is still open to see if any other option flow data comes through for the rest of the day. And this is also Friday, so it'll be interesting to see what happens over the weekend and Monday morning to see if our hypotheses hold up. But right now, it looks like the technical analysis and the option flow data is in alignment. But like I said, I'm still too much of a scaredy cat to play Moderna. But let me know in the comments below if you've ever traded this ticker. I mean, if you're more gutsy than I am, obviously there are people that have made a lot of money buying calls or buying shares and just riding this wave up on Moderna. I mean, we'll see if they actually are the company that develops the vaccine, then maybe they will be, mid to long-term bullish. But recently we've had a lot of companies that have halted their clinical trials because their trials have not been going so well and people were having side effects. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But that is my 10-minute trade analysis on Moderna. Let me know in the comments below what ticker you want me to look at next. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And as always, if you have any disagreements or agreements about my TA, please leave your own TA below. I'm always open to other opinions, and happy trading.